Hi, I'm Grace Russell from The Fan Carpet, and I'm here today with Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh.
Hi, Milo.
Hi, Melissa.
I'm just gonna stand back here.
Good call.
So, Milo, how was your weekend?
Eventful.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I got a new scar. Want to see?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. So, before we start talking about the new show, Milo Murphy's Law, I was just thinking we'd go straight back to the beginning. How did you guys get started in this industry?
Well, we met when we were both working on The Simpsons. That was one of our first jobs, each of us, and they just happened to sit us sort of across the aisle from each other, and we became friends there. And then during
Shared
the
sense of
downtime,
humor.
yes, exactly. During the downtime, the hiatus from The Simpsons, Swampy had gone and gotten work on a show called Rocko's Modern Life, where they needed writers and artists who could also write. And he knew that I did that.
I fooled them into thinking I could do those things.
Yes,
and then I immediately called Dan and said, "You got to get over it." This is great.
And so they threw us together as a writing team on that show, and we had such a good time doing that we decided to create a show together so we would never have to work apart. And we created Phineas and Ferb, and it took 13 years to sell it. So during that time, we never worked together. And,
so that was a good plan.
Yeah. So, and now we've worked together for 10 years straight, and we're really sick of each other. He's a miserable human being.
The worst thing is we've sold this show now, so
and now we have to
so that's like
continue to
another
work
10
together. Yeah,
years.
it's why we didn't think about it. We didn't think it through.
But now we've got to Milo Murphy's Law. So how did you get your first inspiration for the show?
I had drawn, much like on Phineas, I had drawn a picture of a character that I thought really popped and really, I felt like this character should be a lead character in a show, and I brought it into Swampy, and he felt the same way, and I was like, the only thing I have for him is he's just indefatigably optimistic. That's what I had written next to it.
I said that's a really big word.
Yes, so he had to look it up because his vocabulary is and then he said, what if he's optimistic in the face of everything going wrong? And I was like, oh, like Murphy's Law. Ooh, he could be a Murphy. And within an hour, we had the entire sort of concept for the show figured out and the plot for the first episode. And I left his office and immediately started drawing the first episode, drawing the storyboards for the first episode. A week later, we had a little animatic of the opening to show to Disney, and they said, okay, let's go with this. Because they were looking to develop something new with us. And then it was only a few months down the road
this one took a couple months to sell?
Yeah, the other one was 13 years.
years.
So we're getting better at least selling things.
Yeah, so next time it will just take a couple of weeks.
Exactly. Next time we're gonna sell something before we come up with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that would be the ultimate goal.
Wow.
We're going to do a show, but we don't know what it is yet.
But you
do
need
want
to buy
it
it now.
So.
But so many insane, crazy things go wrong. How do you keep? It seems to get bigger and bigger and wilder each time. How do you keep coming up with more ideas?
We have a great team of lunatics that we work with, writers and storyboard artists. And if you get a bunch of those lunatics in a room and you start brainstorming, you can come up with some pretty wacky stuff.
And the thing is, ideas are not a finite resource. A lot of people don't you run out of ideas? And it's like, no, you don't. It's actually easier to come up with more ideas if that's all you're doing all day. It's like any muscle that you stretch.
Yeah, it's a muscle, not a well.
Exactly. If you're not writing on a TV show, then it's going to be harder for you to come up with new ideas than if you're in there generating new ideas all the time, because it's sort of a self-generating mechanism. The more you do it, the more this idea leads to this idea, which leads to this idea.
Yeah. Is it possible for you to pick out a favourite character in it so far? Because mine's Diogi.
I have to go with Balthazar Cavendish.
Yeah,
the actor who voices him is incredible. I don't remember his name right now.
He's such a pain to work with, though. He's a real diva. But I like Cavendish and Dakota because it's me and Swampy, and we actually get to act together in this show. And throughout Phineas and Ferb, we were always in separate scenes, so we never got to just improv together.
Have your double act together on the screen.
But I would almost have to say Melissa, just because it's my daughter. And she'll see this at some point and say, you didn't say Melissa? Okay, so it's you.
I was really happy that we got Diedrich Bader and Pam Adlon together to do Mom and Dad. They're both incredible voice talents and on-screen actors. And it's also just fun because Diedrich Bader is
6'5",
6'5", and Pam is maybe 3 feet. We have a great picture of the two of them together.
It just works so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like they're different species
Yeah.
when you see them in a room next to each other.
Well, then speaking of voice actors, you've got some incredible people in this as well.
Yes.
Weird Al.
Yes.
How did that come about? Was that just...
We auditioned so many people for Milo, but
Hundreds.
we wanted him to be to feel so genuinely super positive. And when people sort of put on that voice, they often sounded a little arch. It sounded a little Pollyanna, almost like they were covering something
forcing
up.
it
Yeah,
and-
forcing it. And even the best actors, if it, we finally decided we need to find somebody who just sounds super positive. Anyway, the character's sort of slightly based on a friend of ours who just has this positivity to his voice, and we even thought about casting him. But he's running another show at Disney, and Disney was like, "You will not get, you don't get 2 hours of Noah's life, every week. You can't do it." But then somebody tweeted a picture of them with Weird Al, and I was like, "We've met Al. He's a really super positive guy, just naturally. That's just how he comes across without seeming, let's listen to his voice in an interview." And then we brought him in, and as soon as we recorded him doing that voice, we were it was like, okay, this is it. This is definitely him.
And then because you've got so much music always involved in this,
We know
bringing him
he
in is
can
just
sing. We know-
natural.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'd heard he'd done some music before this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
a
you
little
know,
bit.
Safe bet.
what's funny is that on Phineas, we would occasionally, like third season, we would rewrite the lyrics to a first season song that we had written to make our own Weird Al version of that song. And then for this show, we took a Phineas song and rewrote the lyrics and made our own Weird Al version of that for this show and had Weird Al sing it.
And then that's just a dream come true.
It was like it was turning in on itself. It almost imploded. It was really fun.
It's brilliant. And then, of course, Christian Slater's coming up later in it. Vanessa Williams, Sarah Chalk.
Yes.
Did you know you wanted these people involved to start with?
As
Christian, we didn't. He called us and said, "Can I get a role on the show?"
Yeah.
We're like,
he had come in and done a Phineas and really enjoyed it.
That's
Get anything you want. Seriously.
Like, do you want a recurring? Yeah, I'll do whatever you want. So we wrote the part around him. But a lot of times it's like, well, we write a part, you create a design and stuff, and then like, who could we get for this? We need these two sort of kick-ass special agents for this bit. Let's see if we can get Ming-Na and Brett Dalton from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
So like they'd be perfect. And then once you got them, then you go back in and redo the designs a little bit so that they look a little more reminiscent. It's been great. Everybody that we've asked basically has said yes at this point.
And that's the thing. We're just too stupid not to ask. We just assume everybody's going to say yes, so we ask anybody.
So why not?
Yeah. Sometimes they say
can
yes.
only say no. That's
Most
the
of the
worst
time,
thing.
frighteningly enough, most of the time they say yes, which
Yeah.
is really great.
That's right. Would it be all right if I get you guys to draw a little something?
Oh, sure. You want a Milo? You want a DOG? What do
Oh, let's go with Milo.
Milo, okay.
Yeah.
So the big guy himself. Milo, one of the things that I think really defines him is he's got these big, like, completely wide open eyes. Most of the time he has this sort of childlike wonder that he looks at everything with. He has this
Also,
sort of-
you don't want to miss anything that's flying at you.
yeah,
No, you
exactly.
need to
Keep
be.
your eyes open.
Yeah, he's got to keep his eyes open for whatever calamity may be coming his way, and he has this sort of really pleasant cheekiness to him, which we get from actually that cheek, and he has this lovely little hair flip on the top of his head that comes up like that, which he was originally this sort of caricature of what I thought this friend of ours, Noah, would look like in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And Noah's almost our age. He's definitely an adult. He's got children.
we've got him
but
beat by
he's
a bit.
just young enough that he can do that hair thing in the front and not look like an idiot. It's like
We definitely
couldn't-
look like idiots.
we couldn't pull that off if we did that thing. That was like a 90s thing, I think, is when that started coming in. That's like a New Kids on the Block thing. So
Although I always see Brian Glazier around town with his spiky hair, and I think,
if he could do it,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's Milo
Wow.
right there. Here, I'll sign it so it'll be worth money when I die. There you go.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Absolutely perfect.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much.
Sure.
It's been absolutely lovely to meet you. And series starts in April I
Yep.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3rd of
Very
April.
excited.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Do you even know where we are?
Oh, yeah. The fire dried out my phone. We are right in the middle of Coyote Woods.
Wait, Coyote Woods? I've got a thing about coyotes.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.